Hello my fellow riders, this is Chris at Ride and Reviews, and today we're going to be doing a motorbike industry update and a Q&A. So welcome to my live stream, and if you've got any questions send them through and I will do my best to answer them. So as I said, we're going to be doing a little bit of a update on the motorbike industry at the minute. So today, for instance, I've been putting together Yamazaki's and Fosty Yamazaki F50s, and we've got about, I think it's 50 of them to go out within the next 2 weeks. So all of those bikes have to be PDI'd, test ridden and checked again, and then they have to be couriered out. So I have been working very hard on that with my other colleagues at Cheap Bikes R Us, and this is why the phone lines at Cheap Bikes R Us were disconnected today, just because we had to get the bikes ready, get them out, get them done. So that's in regards to Cheap Bikes R Us, that's an update for them. Also, we've got another scooter coming in tomorrow on another shipment, and that is purely a delivery scooter. So it is purely designed for people like Just Eat, Uber and Amazon, and it has a massive built-in box in the back, but I will do a video at some point on that soon so everybody can get a look at it. Some people might want to use it as a commuting bike or something like that, but yeah, they are primarily designed to be a 50cc delivery scooter. Going on for some other updates, Lexmoto have... Excuse me. What's that, Mia? Okay. Sorry about that. Go on now. Be quick. Sorry, I won't be a second. Sorry about that, children. She needed the loo. So anyway, yeah, Lexmoto have just come out with some of their new models. Well, they've told us as a supplier that they're coming out with them. So they've got 12 models coming, and sorry, go on then. Quick. Sorry, she's in her underwear. I didn't want to put that out into the world. So anyway, Lexmoto are coming out with 12 new models, and they will be Euro 5 specification. So that is one thing to look forward to. Zontes have their new, I think they're K something series, which is a 125cc 18 kilowatts motorbike, and they will be restricted to 14.4 so that they can comply with the UK law, but they will be the fastest, most powerful legal 125 motorbike on the market as of, I think it's December. They're releasing them. It might be November, but December definitely. So there isn't really a lot else to say at the minute. Nobody has any stock apart from us. Lexmoto usually keep a stock of about 5,000 motorbikes, and they have currently got, I think last time we checked it was 37. Lots of the LXR 380s, which nobody really wants, and their 300cc scooter, which also nobody wants, and obviously their new electric scooters, which some of them nobody wants, but some of them people just don't know about yet. So I'm pushing out to you guys. I know it's not a massive update, but I was asked to do another one of these live streams so I could answer some more of your questions. So if anybody has questions, please go ahead and ask them, and I will do the best I can to answer them for you guys. So first I'll say hello to people who are actually commenting. So Tom, hello. Bailey, hello. Jack, hello. And James, hello. So I'll get comfortable, and if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and ask, because I'm sort of running out of stuff to say. So I know my videos have been a little bit not sporadic, but they've been a little bit hit and miss in regards to what I'm recording at the minute. The reason for this is because of, well, number one, I can't get into my area where I normally record, and number two, I don't have access to some of the bikes that I normally do because of COVID and because of lack of stock anywhere. So yeah. Any questions? Just one. I'm curious, in all honesty, what is the best bet, electric or petrol, on only travelling 60 miles a week? It very much depends on how far you're riding in one instance before charging. So majority of bikes, electric wise, they have a max range of about 50 miles. So if your commuting in one day is under 50 miles and you don't have any idea on anything else, then electric is a good way to go. They have a lot of torque. It's good if you're on a 50cc restriction. If you're on a 125, electric hasn't really come in that well on a 125 yet. Zonte's, not Zonte's, Keyway are supposed to be bringing in a high spec motorbike that is 125 equivalent shortly, but at the minute they haven't got anything in. So any news on when we will order more YM50s, blue and white? So the Euro 5 spec bikes for Yamazaki are have been processed, and the next batch will be fuel injected to comply with the Euro 5 emissions. I don't know exactly what Euro 5 is, and Euro 5 is actually coming in the same time as we're leaving the EU, so we don't know exactly what's going on with there. But the Euro 5 bikes are coming in somewhere in the region of February, I believe. I can't wait for the Fossi F50. Also, what disc lock prices do you offer roughly? So the best disc lock we do is an alarm disc lock, and that would fit in the Fossi F50, and they are $39.99. You don't really want to be connecting an alarm to your bike because it will just drain your battery. If you put an alarm disc lock on, it does exactly the same thing as a normal alarm, but it you don't have the issues with it draining your battery. I've just been saving for my first bike just over 6 months now, and I'm looking to buy 1 month before my birthday. So can I ride it on my CBT? What I need insurance and license. So if you're 16, you will be able to ride a 50cc on your CBT license. If you are 17, you can ride a 125 on your CBT license, but you will need insurance. All brand new bikes come with 1 year's tax, 3 years MOT, and they'll be fully checked over, and they come with 2 years warranty. Unless it's a 50. 50s usually come with 1 year's warranty, 125s come with 2 years warranty, and some of the big bikes come with more warranty. In regards to warranty, anybody that says that there is 5 years warranty on a bike is lying to you, because what they do to make that right is they offer you 5 years. They reduce the distance between servicing, so it comes, if you keep your bike serviced to the end of the 5 years and you say do a general commute of 10 miles a day, you will be doing 20 services by the end of the 5 year period. So yes, it sounds great. 5 years warranty sounds awesome, but it's a bit of a lie. So if somebody says that, it's not really true. Right, I'm on the electric bikes. The prices are high, but you do get something called an olive grant, which reduces the price by about 20%. So on your invoice from us, if you buy it from us, you would get the full price invoice to you, and then you would get 20% off on the olive grant, which for these bikes is somewhere around the region of £500 ish. So you've got the Lex Elex, which is just under £2,000, 2,200 I think it is, and when you get the olive grant you'll be paying somewhere in the region of £1,600 to £1,700. So yeah, I can't wait for my Fosty. Honest, so excited. We are getting your Fosties out as quick as humanly possible, but as I say, the Fosties are, we have loads and loads, and people have been ordering these bikes from I think 3-4 months ago, so we've got to try and do it as quick as possible. If you haven't given us your insurance details for your bike yet, and you haven't paid for your bike in total, please do so, and that will speed it up for you. Boss Pong, hello. Can you get a Fosty in Belgium? Yes, there are some people selling Fosties in other parts of Europe. I think they're called a F31 over there. So have a look for a Fosty F31, and you should be able to get one over there. I don't know prices. I don't know the exact laws in Belgium. I do know that some of the scooters in France have to be restricted to 24 kilowatts, 24 kilometers per hour. So keep that in mind if you buy these bikes. Check out your local laws before you do so. D, hello. My man, how you and the family have moved house yet? No, this is my last broadcast from this house. I will be taking a week off next week to move. So my main move date is on Sunday, and I won't have any internet for a couple of days and stuff like that. So I'll be able to take a break and move boxes and all of that sort of stuff. So fun times. Hi, do you sell Mondial bikes, and if so, have you tested the new flat tracker, and what is your thoughts? We don't sell Mondial bikes. Most of these sort of bikes are the same. So if you just give me a sec, I'll have a look on here. Mondial flat tracker. I can't spell it. Mondial. So I'll come back to you on that one. I'll have a look in a sec. Mondial. They look the business. They look like they've got a very similar engine to. I think it's not many Chinese bikes have that engine. So I don't know if it's their engine or whatever, but it looks the part. I don't know if it's going to be very comfortable to ride, but it's alright. My spelling is pants. Right, heading off. All the best on your move. Thank you, James. Yeah, you can ride a scooter without a license, and if you need to restrict it to 25 kilometers an hour, but when you get your license you can do 50. I don't know what it's like riding around at 25 kilometers an hour where you are, but I think I'd rather get on a push bike and I can pedal it at 30 miles an hour. So I don't really see the point in 25 kilometers an hour, but that's me. We electric push bikes here are restricted to 16 miles an hour, so that is somewhere in the region of 33 kilometers an hour. So electric push bikes can go faster. Who knew? Why are the Chinese motorcycle companies not selling Honda Cubs type in the UK? Generally, we sell whatever we can sell, pretty much. We can't 100% go and copy Honda. There's lots of regulations. Not in China. China can do whatever the hell they like, pretty much. Nobody's going to stop them, and there is no such thing as copyright. But when they come into the UK, if it's 100% a copy of something, then we get sued, and we don't want that. So we try not to out and out copy something. If it's close, people don't mind, but if it's 100% copy, then we'll get sued. In regards to that, the only people in the UK that have ever been sued for an out and out copy, Honda sued somebody, and I think that was MotoGP. So I think Honda sued MotoGP. The one person you don't mess with is Honda, because they control the whole market, control the industry in the UK, so you don't mess with them. Why are the new Yamazakis not failing their MOTs due to their headlights? Right, I'm guessing this is due to the phone call that I got from somebody the other day. Not all of them are failing the MOT on the headlights. There was one customer who had an issue with the police stopping him and saying that your bike is not suitable. This was because of the exhaust system. And then he took it for an MOT and they said that it had failed. That bike actually passed the MOT. We were told yesterday that it passed the MOT on the headlights, and the person was getting taken to court because of the exhaust wasn't standard to the bike when it was first built. This is rubbish. We sent all the information we could to help the customer with all the relevant details, so when he goes to court he can say the bike is standard, we didn't modify it, so pretty much go away, and the case will be thrown out, because all the bikes when they come into the UK have to be COC tested, which is a European standards certificate of conformity, which means that all bikes are UK valid on every part, so they will all be Euro 5 spec parts, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to register them in the UK. I hope that has cleared that one up. Hi Chris, I have read Lex Motor Facebook page that says frames on many Aspires have broken. Is this the common fault? There was a recall on the Aspires. Every Aspire from one batch was recalled because apparently one bike had a bad weld on it, and just to be safe they wanted to bring back all of the bikes. So when these come back into the country, what we had to do was cut off the headstock of any of the bikes, pretty much take off what we wanted and put it in a box, but the headstock and the frame had to be cut off and sent off to the DVLA to say that the bike has been destroyed, and then we replaced everyone out of that shipment with a brand new bike. There wasn't any problems with all of the bikes, it was one bike, but just to be safe, Lex Motor recalled the whole batch, which cost them, I think it was about 70 grand to replace one batch, which is quite a lot. Okay, right, let me see. Hi, Jason, yes, me neither, that's why I'm planning to get my licence. I suggest you do so, just because, yeah, do so. Hello, have you had any experience with the Mutt motorcycles? I love the styling, but it seems negative comments made regarding the Chinese build quality. This is a common thing that we have with the Chinese motorcycles in the UK. They come into the country and I would say it's not actually the bike themselves that has a problem. Usually it's a PDI. So when somebody goes in and like when I go over a bike, I will go around, tighten up every single bolt. Even if the Chinese have put marks on it to say they've torqued it up, I will go over that bolt anyway, just because sometimes their tools are old and they're not calibrated properly to where they're supposed to be. English torque tools are supposed to be calibrated every year. I don't think the Chinese would do that. So any bolt that we see, we will tighten up. We go over stuff. We do little things to the electrical system. We do little things to the carburetor to set it up correctly, just so that the bike is as it should be coming in here. The problem is I was talking about this to one of my colleagues earlier, and the whole of the Japanese industry bikes, when you do the PDI in the UK, you need to have City and Guilds qualifications, you need to be a registered mechanic and all that sort of thing, or you need to have done apprenticeships on these bikes. In the Chinese market, anybody can open up a shop and PDI a bike with no previous qualifications, no previous know-how, and this is apparent especially with people like Direct Bikes, and there was one called Zorro who brought in the Yamazakis into the UK. They send the bikes out in boxes so that the normal person on the street can put their bike together correctly. We had a lady come in to us a little while back, and she said that I bought a bike from Direct Bikes and they told me to put it together. I don't know anything about bikes. When it came into us, it was actually dangerous, and I refused to give the bike back to the lady until I had sorted out the problems, because it's just not worth it. She said, "Oh, I'll take it away, I'll come back another day," and I don't want it on my conscience that she went down the road and broke, I think it was her brakes that weren't working, broke herself and her bike because her brakes weren't working, because she didn't know how to PDI a bike properly, which not everybody does. Not all Chinese bikes are the same quality as Japanese bikes, and we're not trying to say they are, but to a certain extent you get what you pay for. Right, so sorry, I'm just reading up. Devon, your comment got blocked because you swore. No swearing. It's a shame the bikes are only 50cc because I can't have any people on the back. 50cc's are not designed for people on the back. If you get caught with people on the back on your CBT, your bike will be removed from you. So yeah, don't do it. Can you show us a de-restriction video on a Lexmoto Aspire in the future? It's easy. You don't have to. It's not a hard thing to do with a Lexmoto Aspire. Let me 1 second. I thought I had a carburetor here, but I haven't. On the top of a carburetor, you've got a screw where the accelerator cable goes through and pulls up a little needle. In CMPO, you buy another needle surround, put that in, and that will restrict that bike. Right, let me see. Thank you. Bob, hi Chris, what's your thoughts about Bullet Hero 50? How's the build quality and the motor? So the Bullet 50 is one of the better bikes on the market at the minute. It has a double overhead cam engine in it, and it has the most power you can get at the minute on a 50cc bike once they've been unrestricted. Now these have the same fuel injection or electronic carburation system as the Yamazaki YM50RE. When they first come into the country, they told you that you needed to change the carburetor, cut the pink wire and remove a device from under the seat to de-restrict it. It turns out you don't need a new carburetor, you just need to remove the pink wire, either unplug it or cut it and remove the device from underneath the seat. So that's that pretty much. The frame, the tyres are all well built, but obviously you are paying a bit of a premium for that sort of thing. So if you want a bike that you're going to use for a longer period of time, then it is a great bike. If you're using it for a year and then moving on, maybe, me personally, I would go for something a little bit cheaper. In regards to the Bullet 125, now that's a different kettle of fish, but they're fairly restricted, those bikes. The first thing I would do on one of them is pull the exhaust off and replace it for a Lex Tech one. I hope that's answered your question. Nathan Butcher, what happens to if you buy an unrestricted 50cc F16? So the law is vague on restriction. It is a pain in the backside. I have started a petition that you can see on my Facebook page, and if you look through the comments on the community tab, you can scroll down and sign that. But the petition is for removing the 50cc restriction, because I believe personally that it is safer to ride without the restriction than it is to ride with it, because of lots of different reasons. But everybody will attest to that who rides a bike, that the bikes need to be de-restricted. When it comes to the legality of it, if the bike comes into the country unrestricted, then it can stay unrestricted. If it comes in the country restricted, it's got to stay restricted. If it's unrestricted from yourself, this is classed as a modification. If it is not unrestricted by yourself, it is classed as a standard bike. So if you do this, your license, your MOT and your insurance will be void, so it will be the same as riding without insurance and without the correct license. Carlos, you can technically ride it like a Yamazaki YM50. If it comes unrestricted, you can keep it that way. Yes, so the Yamazaki F50 does come unrestricted, and from what we have been told, or what we understand, nobody will enforce a restriction as long as you're not being an idiot. If you're being an idiot, they will stop you, they will pull you over, and they will do you for not having the correct license, do you for not having the correct insurance. If you're keeping up with traffic and riding responsibly, then it doesn't really make any difference. But I would always say err on the side of caution. If you have to, because of like people who ride in Scotland, they can't get up and down hills if the bikes are restricted. So if you have to, then do it, but to be safe, I would say leave it until you're 17. I saw a recent Yamazaki F50 video that mentioned that you are unsure if they are restricted. Right, we sort of. In regards to the F50, we've sort of figured it out. We think they're slightly restricted, but not fully restricted. So it's going to be a similar case to the Aspire. The bikes will do 45 miles an hour. They will slow down when you're going up a hill to around 30 miles an hour, and then as soon as it gets to 30, it's going to kick in the full power. So on a flat, you can do the 45-ish. As soon as you hit hills, it's going to slow down. The problem with this is, if it is restricted, we have no way of unrestricting it. So I will be doing a video soon on an F50. I will make sure my camera and my phone is connected, so you can see exactly how the speed is. Yeah, so you can see how fast it goes. Have you tested the Lex Moto LXR? I haven't tested the LXR 380 yet. I know that Spicy 110 did a video on the 380, so maybe you should check out some of his stuff. I don't know if we're going to be getting one in. The problem with cheap bikes for us in regards to the bigger bikes is we've had the CF Moto 650 and the 250 Valencia from obviously different places, but we've had both of those sitting there for about a year, and because all of our bikes are commuter bikes, we just can't sell them. So I'm sure we will one day, because just reduce the price until they sell. But whether or not we're going to get something big just to have it in, I don't think that's going to happen at the minute. Lex Titan or Diablo, what is the difference? Diablo, don't do it. Just don't do it. Go not it. Sorry, I'll get that right. Titan, don't do it. Go for the Diablo. The Titan has a different fuel injection system than the Diablo, and the Titan has a tendency of going out of sync. Excuse me, I'm talking too much. So what I mean is the Titan has a programmable ECU. So the way that you program that is you turn the key on and off 5 times. It starts buzzing high pitch for 4 to 5 seconds, and then you start the bike, hold the revs up until it cuts out on its own, and then you have to start the bike again and let it idle until it cuts out again, which is about 10 minutes later, and that's the configuration of everything. Problem with this is we found that it kept on coming out of the sequence, so you would have problems idling. So yeah, Lex Motor Titan versus the Diablo. Go for the Diablo. How things in your area? Are you on part lockdown or not? No, we're in tier 1, tier whatever. We're in the lowest tier in Milton Keynes. I haven't actually taken a day off for lockdown at all, because we're in the sort of industry where people need to get to work, so people need their bikes repairing. The only thing that we did during lockdown, the major part when it came in fully, is we shut the shop. So we would do service work, we wouldn't let anybody on the premises, they would have to wait outside for their vehicle, but we did always go to work, because it would drive me absolutely insane if I had to stay home for 2 days or whatnot. I just can't do it. It's just not me. My petition has been stopped for now. The petition thing, they told me that I needed 10 petitions to get it going. I've had like 180 something, and they said that it was going to be starting again soon, so I'll get onto that. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, I'll get onto that as soon as I can. Have you test rode the Aprilia RX 125? We have an Aprilia RX 125 at the minute in the shop that we are sorting. We bought it off of somebody, and then I will be doing a test ride on that, and I can do whatever I like, how far I like, because it's second hand. So I like test riding the second hands because I don't have the restriction on how many miles I can do. So yeah. Do you know what the replacement for the Lex Moto Hunter will be? The answer to that is no. The Lex Moto Hunter and the Lex Moto Aspire 100% will not be coming back into the country. The Lex Moto Aspire had issues with the frame, and the Lex Moto Hunter had a couple of recalls on running issues and the exhaust system. It kept on snapping the studs. So yeah, they won't be getting those back in. They haven't told us what is coming in yet, but I know that quite a lot of the Chinese haven't released their Euro 5 bikes yet. From what I can understand, we're the only ones who actually know that we can get our Yamazaki Euro 5 so far. But we should find out next month whether or not all of this Euro 5 stuff is going through. Really, it shouldn't, because we are no longer part of Europe, so why should we have to deal with the European standards? I'm not a politician, but even if I was, you can ask the politicians, and I don't know either. So yeah. What's your view on using inject cleaner, and what would you use it for? Think you are okay. Right, in regards to fuel injection cleaner, we sometimes use a liquid moly fuel system cleaner where you just add it into the tank and it's supposed to clean everything out. I wouldn't recommend using your fuel injection cleaner every tank, but if you're going to use it, I would suggest once every 6 months, just because yeah, it will help with that with keeping your bike clean. The problem that we may have soon is it's not only the motorbikes that go in Euro 5, it's the fuel as well, and the ethanol count on the fuel is going to go up. So they're using more biodegradable fuel or bio-made fuel to go into cars and stuff. And when we came from Euro 3 to Euro 4, there was a change in the fuel injection and the fuel mixtures then, and things like the Lexmoto, what was it? One of the off-roady looking bikes had massive problems with the fuel injection because it was set up for the Chinese fuel and the English fuel wasn't really compatible. So I think it was about 50-60 bikes had to be remapped in regards to that. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but yeah. Gerard Smith. Okay, sorry, I'll come back to you. I missed one. Euro 5. What is Euro 5? The honest answer is nobody knows. We don't bloody know. Euro 5, Euro 4. We found out about 2 months after they brought it in what the actual Euro 4 meant. And Euro 4 meant that every 50cc had to be electronically carbureted or fuel injected, and every 125 had to be fuel injected and have combined braking, and everything over 125 had to be have ABS. But this time we don't know. Right, what's next? What Euro 5? Last question to do. Go on, LOL. Is it worth getting rollers for my Diablo like the top end or pull off? Cheers. So there is in regards to the rollers on a Diablo, there is a finite amount of power that you can get out of a bike. Now the difference in the size of the rollers is in regards to, if you get one set of rollers you will get a faster top speed but you get less torque, and if you get the other type of rollers you will get more torque and less top speed. In regards to inner city riding, you want more torque than you do top speed because you want to be able to get away from the traffic, and most people ride around at 30 miles an hour regardless of what cc. So personally I would say leave it alone. Right, I'm lost now, everybody talking. Do you know if Yamazaki do the YM50 in a Repsol? They're not going to be doing the YM50, YM125 in the Repsol. It's not going to happen. The 125s just didn't sell well enough for us to get them done in the Repsol. So the problem is we're competing with things like the LXR, and people love the LXR more than they love the Yamazaki. So there you go. We are planning to bring in a 125cc cruiser from Yamazaki, so that will be here sometime next year, but I don't know exactly when. Have you ever tested Hanway bikes such as the Black Calf? Again, so the Hanway come from MotoGP, like most stuff in the UK at the minute, and we weren't allowed to have them because they weren't very good apparently. That's what we were told, so they didn't want to give us some because they weren't very good. So that's all good. We don't want to have problems. What do you think about knobbies on the RS125? Cost 50/50 tires, but the question is, what would they be like in the wet conditions? If you're using your bike on the road, use a supermoto tyre. Don't use knobbly tyres because they're pants. They are designed to go off-road. If you use them on road, then there's no point, pretty much. So yeah, don't. Thinking of buying a WK scooter. Will it still be imported in Euro 5 come into effect? No, the WK scooter will not be. The Echo is, and the Nico 1, which is pretty much the same sort of thing, and you're better off going with them. They will be Euro 5'd, but I don't know about WK. They haven't given us much information, so I can't give you an exact, but I would say that the Echo Plus definitely is a better bike, so I would go for that one if I were you. What are your thoughts on the Zontes GT125 G1? First bike, so I like the those Zontes GT125s are supposed to be the bow jiggity. They're supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. They're the ones with the 18 kilowatts of power, reduced to 14, so it means that you're going to be able to get to the top end of that engine performance restricted without worrying about it blowing up. So yes, they are a little bit more money, but they are one of the best bikes coming out this year, I imagine. So yeah, as soon as I get one, which should be, I was promised this month that I was going to get one to test ride, but it looks like it's probably going to be next month now. But as soon as I get one, I will be doing a test ride on it. I'm really looking forward to that one. If the Aspires is being discontinued, does this mean the second hand price will be better next year? My son is moving up to the 125 and I was going to put a part exchange. Right, so I'll explain what the difference is between part exchange, selling to a dealer, and why you would get more money part exchange, but it's not always the best course of action. So in regards to selling privately, you've got to deal with a lot of, what's the best words, stupid people, tyre kickers, and people don't want to waste your time. So you will get a little bit more money selling privately, but if you take it to a dealer, they will take your bike off you the same day. They'll give you the money straight away, no quibbles, and your bike is no longer your problem. When it comes to selling a second-hand bike, by law, all shops have to give at least 3 months warranty. So that's why you would get less from selling to a dealer than you would selling to a private person. Also, a dealer has to make a bit of profit, otherwise there's no point. So yeah. Cheers, thanks for the info. Is there any way to tweak my 50cc to break the speed of sound? Yes, you can break the speed of sound on your 50cc. All you've got to do is push your bike to the top of Everest, take a big fast ride off the top and do a 4,000 to 5,000 foot fall, and your bike will break the speed of sound. Do you think the 50cc is dangerously slow? Yes, I do, and lots of people in the motorbike industry or motorbikers find them slow and find them dangerous. In Milton Keynes, the majority of the roads are 50-mile-an-hour roads. If you are going at 30 miles an hour on a 50-mile-an-hour road, everybody behind you is trying to kill you. So you've got to be careful about that. But I guarantee the people who make the laws in regards to this don't have motorbikes. But we did actually sell a motorbike to Ian Duncan Smith. So he bought a WK something or other. WK Scrambler. And he came in and bought it off of us. Yes, I used to race a 125 and turning 16 soon, and I am looking for a bit of speed on the road within reason, and no 23 miles an hour getting past. This is a problem when you used to ride high capacity bikes off-road, and then you come and ride a road legal bike. They go 30 miles an hour. There's not really a lot you can do about it. You can de-restrict them, but then you're taking the chance that you're going to get pulled over and done for driving without insurance and driving without a wrong number plate. So even with the 125 on-road legal bikes, quite often they're not as powerful as the off-road bikes. So no, Fred. Have you got any YM50s in stock still? Blue ones that I buy now. Anyone dropped their deposit? In regards to that, the only ones we have left is the Repsol ones. Nobody has dropped their deposit, and I don't believe they will. So I'm sorry about that. It's Friday, Fred, stop being a gimp. And yeah, okay. Can I pop wheelies on a 50? Yes, you can. Do I recommend it? No, but you can. What are the Michelin's? What tyres like? Do you know much about them? I'm not a real big tyre person. I don't really know. Swap you AirPods for a 125? No, because anything Apple is poo. What is my daily bike? I don't have a daily bike. I have my own bike, which is a pan-European 1100cc, but I don't actually have one that I use daily. I use a car because my boss I have to take to work because he's partially blind in one eye. So yeah, if I could ride to work I would, but yeah, I don't have a daily bike. So again, we have gone over quite a long time, so we've been doing this for 40 minutes now. So I think, being as the questions have all dried up, I'm going to call it a night. Hold it. Alright, I'm going to answer a couple more questions and I'm going to call it a night because I've got an early start tomorrow. More bikes. What 50cc do you recommend for your first rider? At the minute you're looking at the Yamazaki YM50 or the Yamazaki F50. Yeah. What shampoo do I use? I use something called Miracle Grow. Yeah. Is it safe to ride with earphones in? I would say probably not, but you're going to do it regardless of what I say. The problem with earbuds in your ear is if you have a crash, a side impact crash, it's going to blow your eardrums. So yeah, I wouldn't do it, but you probably won't listen to me. Yes, 100% right. Apple products are poo. Yes, they are. I can beat you in a race. Good for you. Thanks for your time and info. No problem. How many years riding a 125 would you suggest before riding a full? Do your 2 years. Do one CBT. And then yeah. Yeah, I know. I tried Dove, but it's my head's sensitive. Right, anyway, I am going to call it a night. Thank you very much for everybody's participation. Please remember to subscribe to my channel so that I can keep you updated to all of my latest content. You've been great. See you again, and as always, ride safe. Yes, you need to redo your CBT every 2 years. End straight.